What up, y'all? Today I'm gonna take the training wheels off, and I'm just gonna assume everyone's already freaking disregarded all the bullshit things, and I'm gonna talk about enlightenment, or what enlightenment is to me. You know what I mean? Enlightenment to me, well, first, before I get into the whole thing of enlightenment, I want to speak of awakening, and how I'm gonna explain to them how you could see that they're basically the same thing, but I'm gonna try to point out the difference I see in the two for myself, and I'm gonna explain that to you. Awakening. I spoke of the experience in my other videos, you know? And awakening happens the moment you let go. And it's awakening. It's nirvana. And what happens is that, like I said, you know who you are because of anything else that is other than yourself. Anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Just anything that you have the idea, the concept of that isn't you, that's how you tell yourself. You know? Because if you didn't have that other, you wouldn't know yourself. You see? It's like that. Okay, now in that state of consciousness, and I call it a state of consciousness because it's a state of awareness. That's why people, if you ask someone, what do you see when you become awakened? That's the wrong question. You know, I don't want to say you don't see anything, because you see everything. But it's not like you see, you just understand the connection, the interconnection between all things and yourself. Because you know that you yourself aren't separate from everything else. You see? It's all one. That's the awakening part. That's the awakening. That's what awakening means. And in that state of consciousness, you're aware of all that is, all that ever was, and all that will ever be. And that's here. And now. It's the moment of experience that's unfolding and always has been. Forever. Like I said, time doesn't exist. Time is just a measurement of intervals between us human beings to measure scales of intervals, you know? But once you see that, once you awaken, you realize that this now here moment is eternity. You know? You can't see the stars right now. But with them then, there's no time, there's no concepts. It's just are, you know? And another thing about it, this whole idea of how people are still debating whether or not there's aliens. You see, that's how I get off topic like that. But I'm gonna do it anyway. People really be denying the fact that there's aliens. Or they'll ask, do you believe in aliens? Or people even still have the audacity not to believe in aliens. You know? I don't know. I just think that shit's crazy. It just goes to show how closed-minded people are. And how it's like I have the image of like a fucking hermit crab that goes within its shell because it's afraid of the outside world, you know? It's like, why? But it's like, back to the subject. Now, the experience of awakening, I talked in my last video. If that happens to you, at that moment, oh, that shit looks purple. Ooh, at that moment, you want to tell everybody, dude, because trust me, when it happens to you, you know it. And you want to share it with everyone else. And it's not a feeling of like, ha ha ha, look, I did this. No, at that moment, it's real because you want it for everybody else. Not just yourself. And even for the people you thoroughly dislike. You see? That's a feeling. It's an experience that you want to share with the world. You know? But it's like, you can't do that. Because of the social institution we were all raised in, which is the Western civilization, you know? With its beliefs. It's all that shit. You know what I mean? And they have you thinking a certain way. not even they have you, because in the end you have yourself thinking a certain way, and it's always up to you whether or not you want to find out for yourself, and not for, or you could just live on in the social institution, and you can follow the idea of success that's been given to you by people that have been here before you but never figured it out for themselves. But that's just it, but you have to talk about that experience in your language, and not even I like the language that was given to you. Not only the language you speak, but in what kind in what language you express yourself. If you're a Christian, you speak in a Christian background. If you're a Catholic, you speak Catholic. If you're a Hindu, then it's obvious. They honestly tell you like, congratulations, you found out. If you're a Buddhist, well, it's basically the same thing. But they rather just not speak of it, because they have no words for it, no concept, and I emphasize the word concept and idea. They have no idea, no concept, only direct experience of what it is. You see, Hinduism pretty much tells you what it is, kind of, not really, Buddhism knows what it is, but it doesn't lay a finger on what it is, because it knows that that's impossible. And it knows that all your attempts to do so is like trying to catch water in the net. It always slips through. And also, it's just like trying to grasp water between your hands. And the faster you grab it, the faster it shoots out your fingers.